Now, UBS has agreed to hand over the names of nearly 4,500 account holders to the U.S. government, and it's looking to be a game changer for Swiss banks. After being blacklisted as an uncooperative tax haven, now some Swiss banks are shunning American clients and turning to emerging markets. They're turning to Asia, Russia, and the Middle East, stressing their financial expertise as well as the country's reputation for stability. Swiss banks hold $2 trillion for individuals overseas, 27% of all offshore wealth. That's according to Boston Consulting Group. IRS Commissioner Douglas Schulman says this will not be the end of the U.S. crackdown on tax evasion. Bloomberg reporter Ryan Donmoyer has been looking into some possible next steps the IRS might take, and he joins us now from Bloomberg's D.C. bureau. Welcome. So what is next? What is the IRS's next step?
Well, there are several steps. The first is to start getting the names of UBS account holders, and those have to go through the Swiss government and then be turned over using standard tax treaty protocols that have been sort of redefined in this new settlement. But once they get those, they have to work those cases. They've also got a whole bunch of hundreds, if not thousands, of cases coming in under a voluntary disclosure program that are not just resulting in settlements there, but they also are turning up more information about other banks, lawyers that helped clients move offshore. So it's an expanding web of potential investigation. The only question is how much does the IRS have in terms of resources to pursue it all?
And will we ever learn the identities of these 4,500?
That remains to be seen. It may depend on how willing some of these people are to challenge the IRS in court. By law, the IRS cannot reveal the identities of taxpayers or taxpayer information. So we probably will not, unless, like I said, the taxpayers go to court to challenge their assessments or whatnot.
Ryan Dolmeyer, Bloomberg News reporter. I want to break away here to bring you up to speed on some breaking news. The Treasury Secretary, Timothy Geithner, is speaking today in Ohio to tout the benefits of the Recovery Act school bonds program. But he's also talking about the overall economy, saying the U.S. economy is showing, quote, the first steps to recovery. Geithner also says the housing market is starting to stabilize. Geithner comments, these are prepared remarks that, again, he is presenting in Ohio today. He says job losses are slowing. Banks are starting to, quote, pay us back. And we certainly heard that from the AIG CEO today. Geithner also saying that we are starting to see signs of stability. He says fear is giving way to emerging confidence. Okay, and it looks like we do have some more time, so we want to pick up our discussion with Ryan Donmeyer. He's been looking into some of the possible next steps the IRS might make on the heels of the situation with UBS. So thanks for waiting with us while we went through some of those headlines from the Treasury Department this afternoon. So, Ryan, tell us now, what is the risk for anybody that hasn't come clean at this point if the IRS eventually does catch them?
Well, that is, of course, the risk, and the IRS is trying to persuade people who have not come forward to do so by September 23rd, which is when a program ends where they can get some reduced penalties. The risk of not coming forward and being detected by the IRS includes criminal prosecution, and you could also potentially lose everything in your offshore account and still owe the IRS money under a series of cascading penalties that can be imposed. So, I mean, it is sort of a high-stakes game for some people.
And Bloomberg is reporting that Swiss banks are turning to emerging markets for new clients. Is that more of a trend? Didn't just happen yesterday.
Yes, I mean, UBS, one of the first things UBS did was cancel all of the accounts of American clients. They announced that last summer when the Senate held hearings. And so the Swiss are essentially have been put under tremendous pressure by the IRS, so they're clearly looking for other customers.
Ryan Donmoyer, thank you. Check out his story on Bloomberg.com.